I don't know if you can read the sign or not, but it says H8 relocated 200 meters, then an arrow pointing back down the trail the way I just came, which is that way. I didn't see any new campsite sign down there, but then again, I wasn't really looking. The old campsite was just up that trail and down onto Kirk Creek. Really wasn't much of a campsite to write home about, but bottom line is I just stopped here to grab a water break. I'm, according to the map, 2.6K to my campsite. It says 45 minutes, but I'm telling you, going solo, that pack is heavy, and I'm really feeling it today. So I don't know if I'll do the entire 45 minutes without another quick little respite, because I think it's more important to stay fresh and not, you know, overdo your legs. It'll get better, obviously, the more I consume, the lighter the pack will get, but right now it's heavy. Anyway, we'll check in probably at the campsite. Well, welcome to Three Narrows Lake and site H16. Just a pretty lake. It's huge. This is actually just an offshoot. You will get a chance to see the entire span of Three Narrows Lake in 2 days when I'm up at the top of Moose Pass, probably gasping for air and trying not to have a heart attack. But I came into camp and got the spot message going, got the propane stove hooked up, kettle boiled, coffee ready, chair ready. I'll do setup after my coffee. But here's something that really annoys me. Really annoys me. Look at the garbage somebody leaves behind. I mean, a pair of socks. Sorry, the last video cut out for some reason. I think I'm on low bat. But anyway, look at the garbage. A frying pan. I mean, come on, folks. You don't leave that crap in the backcountry. You cart it out with you, or at least have the sake to burn what you can. I mean, that's just terrible. Okay, fresh battery in. I spent enough time talking about the garbage and the idiot who left it here, so I'm not going to bother with that. But I wanted to show you the sleep system in stages here. So those are the 4 pieces that make everything up. So starting over here, my foot is, we've got the Mantis U-All hammock, or hammock, one Tigress underquilt, the Joey sling, and then the over or top quilt that goes into the hammock. So I'll start setting it up and kind of show you in stages what it looks like. Okay, phase 1 is done. So basically it comes with 2 python straps, which is this right here. So you wrap that around any tree. It won't hurt the bark or anything like that. So one on each end. This tree over here was a little thinner, so I had to wrap it around a couple of times. But you'll see the bag that the hammock is in has a carabiner on the outside. So based upon height, etc., you fiddle with where you want it, depending on how close or far apart your trees are. Then it just pulls right out. As you can see, you got it built-in bug net, so you don't have to worry about that. Then it attaches the other end. Now hammocks are notoriously great for summer, but you have to worry about cold shoulders and a cold bum during the night. So this is what the one Tigress underquilt does. This is rated down to 45 degrees, or about 7 Celsius, around there. So again, carabiners on both ends. You just hook it into where the carabiner for the hammock is, and then you make sure that you spread it out so that your body of the hammock is going to nest inside of the underquilt. So the wind may play havoc with it, but once you get in, you know, you're ready to go to bed, you just make sure that it's set up properly and you're all good to go. And you don't worry about the wind blowing that up, because obviously when I get in there, it's going to come down and nest correctly. And then you can see the over quilt or top quilt is in there as well. It again is rated to 40 to 45 degrees. So now the only thing I have to put up is the fly. And it comes with a number of guy wires like this one does. This one you pull out and you can see you got pockets and everything that you can put, you know, flashlight or whatever in there when you're in bed at night, in case you got to get up in the middle of the night to do some of Mother Nature's lovely business. You're not going to be doing it in the pitch black. So yeah, we'll get the fly set up and then we'll show you what the final product looks like. So there you go, all set up. The fly's a little closer to the ridge line of the hammock than I'd like, but the trees were just a little too close together and I don't really feel like tearing it all down. There's no rain predicted tonight, so, but even if it does rain, I'll stay dry, and that's the main thing. You know, it could have been better, but again, I would have needed about 2 more feet. I probably should have measured a little better, but bottom line is, there's the hammock setup. There were 3 things that I forgot to mention today that I wanted to share. One, if you ever hear me refer to myself as the captain, that's because that's my trail name. And for those of you who don't know what a trail name is, it started on the Appalachian Trail in the States, where everybody gives each other a trail name. Could be, you know, based upon something that they've done, something that they enjoy, but everybody gets a trail name, and that's what they're called by. So on our trip around Killarney, the same trail, when it was Chris Gibb, Chris Zahorak, and myself, we gave each other trail names, and they named me the captain, because they said I motivated them like the captain of a hockey team. Yeah, so that's my trail name. So if you ever hear me refer to myself as the captain, that's why. The second thing that I wanted to mention about the pig portage that forms part of the Silhouette Trail, and yes, I have done it as a portage, carrying a canoe on my back as well as a pack on my back. That was fun. But just to give you an idea of how much of a climb it is, in about 500 meters, you're ascending over 90 meters. So that's pretty steep, yeah. And let me tell you, when you make it to the top, you are very, very, very happy. What was the third thing I wanted to mention? Oh, when I got to H8, I wanted to tell you that H8 is the end of the first section of the trail, which is known as the Bay Fin section. After H8, the first campsite in the next section, which is the Three Narrows section, named for the lake obviously, is this campsite, H16. And then it goes all the way up to H22, no sorry, H23. And then after that you enter into the next section, but hopefully I'll remember to tell you that when I'm at H23, not tomorrow, but the day after. And then I also wanted to share, I told you I'd have a quote for every day. Yesterday's was, "Into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul." And today is, hiking is a bit like life. The journey only requires you to put one foot in front of the other again, again, and again. And if you allow yourself opportunity to be present through the entirety of the trek, you will witness beauty every step of the way, not just at the summit. And that's so very true. I remember on my first solo trip around this loop, one of the greatest things I saw was actually a spider web. It was first thing in the morning, and the morning dew was glistening on it, the sun was behind it, and the intricacy of the web was just unbelievable. I remember taking a picture, and it probably got the most likes out of all the pictures, and it was a simple spider web. So there really is beauty everywhere around, and you know, it's amazing to see what you can see. Anyway, that's the wrap for now. I'm just going to lighten my load, and I thought, well, you know what weighs a lot? I said, you know, scotch weighs a lot. You know what else weighs a lot? A cigar. So I'm going to get rid of some weight and enjoy a scotch and a cigar. Well, it's Thursday morning, just about 8:15. I've had breakfast, middle of packing up, getting ready to be on trail, hopefully by 8:30 or so, 8:45 at the latest. I just wanted to show you something I think is a little weird. So when you're out here, every campsite has its own privy, and we affectionately refer to them as thunder boxes. So this thunder box is fairly new, and the only problem with it is when you sit, you're facing this way, because as you can see, the lid goes up that way. I won't bother showing you obviously the various stuff that's in there, but if you look, the trail is literally right there. I don't know if you can make out the blue marker on the tree in the distance, but this can't be more than 30-35 feet from the trail. And when you're sitting down doing your business, you're facing directly towards that. So hopefully you're doing it early in the morning or late at night when nobody is going to be passing by, because privacy at this particular Thunderbox is at a premium. So when you're following the trail, these are the blue markers you're following. This one's kind of funny because somebody put it upside down, which is pretty hilarious. But they're either, you've got a hiker on it, or it's just a solid blue. And they choose blue because it's a color that stands out in the woods, because you don't really see much blue, a lot of green. Campsites are marked with yellow blazes. And if there's a trail in, you just follow those yellow blazes to the campsite. And then when you don't have any trees or whatever, what they will do is they will build cairns like this right here. And so that's another way to follow the trail. You follow the cairns, especially when you're up on the ridges. So when you lose the trail, that's 3 narrows still through the trees there. I'm going to turn and face me. You'll see I've got the bug net on for the brake. Isn't that a picture perfect thing? But this keeps the bugs away from my face because the black flies are annoying once again in the woods. But anyway, I was going to say, when you lose the trail, it's natural to feel upset. And did you know that there's a linguistic explanation for that? Yes, because a trail in French is a sentier, or it's also called a track, which is, the French word is piste. So when you are off trail or off track, you are literally pieced off. See? And you thought I was just another pretty face. So I've stopped here at campsite H18. It was, I don't know, 5K or so from H16. Anyway, I stopped because I had to get water. And on Jeff's map, it tells you it's steep water access at this site. Take a look. Wouldn't want to be trying to navigate my way down for water at this site, that's for sure. That's why I avoided it. Anything that says steep water access, I'm not a big fan. But it's a pretty sight. I've actually paddled this lake. Chris Gibb and I came through this section on our first, sorry about that, the thing keeps falling, on our first canoeing trip in Killarney. It's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. And it's another beautiful day. Not sure what the temperature is, but it's got to be around 25. And the bugs are out. They're annoying, but they're not biting. Well, it's just after 1, taking my lunch break at campsite H20 at another section of beautiful 3 Narrows Lake. Just kind of pan around back into the campsite here. Nice place. I think 21 where I'm stands a little nicer, but this would do in a pinch. I have no idea how hot it is out in the sun. I was sitting down over in the shade by a tree, and I pulled my thermometer out and it's reading 26 in the shade. And I was thinking, well, no wonder I'm having a tough time today. I mean, we haven't had 26 degrees back home. I mean, I'm sure you're having it this week while I'm gone, but we sure hadn't had it when I left. So when you're not used to the heat and you're carrying a very heavy pack, did I mention that? Very heavy? Yeah, it's heavy. Anyway, it's no wonder it gets to be a bit of a slog, but you know, hikers have that expression, you have to embrace the suck, because even though there's difficult moments, there's beautiful scenery like this to lift your spirits around every corner. So we'll check in later.